Yo, what's up guys? Brand new video here from Shane. We're going to be doing the top 10 best Obsidian Flames decks in the current meta of Pokemon TCG. These are all 10 very competitive decks, and decks I think you should be playing in this meta. The top 5 are definitely the decks I would consider playing to a League Cup or Worlds or any tournaments that you think that you will do well in, but I'm just going to make the top 10 to just tell you guys the meta game and everything going on with Pokemon right now. So here at number 10 we have Inteleon VMAX. So this deck isn't bad per se. It's definitely really good. In the meta kinda right now with Charizard having, low HP Pokemon with Pidgey and Charmander and Mew, so you can snipe with the Inteleon Gunner and the G-Max Rapid Flow, and then move the damage with the Painful Spoon, Serena Alakazam, and then that you can move 40 damage to one Pokemon just with abilities, and then you can go Metacham Yoga Loop, and you get an extra turn and you get a knockout, and then basically just on from there. It's a very consistent deck, and that's why I would put it at number 10. It's also with the research and the VIP pass and a very high count of just all around consistency cards. I think is definitely a very honorable number 10. And electrifying us to number 9 is Miraidon EX. So Andrew Mahone did very good with this at the World Championship in 2023 with the 4 count of Path of Peak, and with a high consistency rate of Electric Generator and Flappy for Energy Acceleration. It's a very consistent deck with a free retreat cost of 0 Aura and more consistency with Squawkabilly, and even more consistency with Miraidon EX, basically getting you a free Battle VIP pass, except for the Squawkabilly because it's not electric Pokemon or type. And it plays a high count of Hand Disruption plus Path, so you can go Iona Path to your opponent having one card, and you path them, for instance, against Mew, and then they can't draw a Genesect, or against Gardevoir, you can Iona Path them, and if they can't use Gardevoir EX, and then you put Path against another Miraidon deck, etc. Path Peak is very good in this deck. I think Boss's Orders too is also very good. But yeah, that is the reason why I would play Miraidon. So putting us at number 8 here is Arctura. I recently played this deck into a league challenge. I thought, or not a league challenge, sorry, my locals. I I thought it was okay. For me wise, just for consistency, I think it's kind of lacking here because you're playing like Iona, Boss, eventually. Like if you go first here, like with this deck, you have to have an Arceus and energy. If you don't, you lose the game. Period. End of story. Okay. Now, if you go second, you're most likely gonna have a good hand with the high Iona count, Adventure Discovery, and Research, and Judge, and Ultra Ball and the Nest Ball, and like the Luminion. So you're basically chilling if you're going second. Although in the meta right now, you have to go first with this deck for it to win. Ian Robb did go with this in an IC International Championship, but I think it kind of fell off a little bit. That's why it would be at the number 8. I would say it used to be at top 3, but now that's probably the reason why it's at number 8. So here we have number 7. So Chien-Pao was kind of lacking consistency, barely, but now from the new set of Obsidian Flames, we got Pidgeot EX and the Pidgey. The Pidgeot EX gets you any card from your deck, which is a very good card. It's basically Arceus V-Star. This ability, just 50% of it, but you can do it every single turn. So that's why it's a very broken card if you get set up. And they're already playing basic in Stage 2 Pokemon with the high counter rare candy, but now you have Pidgeot and Pidgey, which is also a Stage 2. That's why rare candy is really good here. And with the Irida, it's just really consistent all around to getting you any item. So, and you're playing a very high count of items. That's also really good. Chien-Pao's ability gets you like 2 RGs from your deck, which can help you set up with the Radiant Greninja, or just attaching energies to your Pokemon to play to use the Hail Blade 60 damage for each energy attached to all your Pokemon, which is really good to knock out big Pokemon, or even like small Pokemon with Radiant Greninja. It's all around just a very consistent deck. That's why it would be at number 7 for me. Number 6 is a brand new Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. This is definitely the best deck from Obsidian Flames, from like all around 100%. With the consistency of the Charizard's ability getting you 3 fire energies from your deck and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. It's very consistent. You're also playing 2/2 line of Arceus V-Star, which, talking about Pidgeot, similar, but you can get 2 cards in one turn. Plus, you're also playing Pidgeot, so I mean, shoot, bro, if you can have Arceus V-Star and Pidgeot out, you can get a your deck for 3 cards. Like, that's really, like, that's that's pretty broken, if I would say so. And then setting up with Mew in the Charmander, you can Mew for the rare candy, you can Pidgeot, you know, for like the Jack and the, or even get like, I don't know, like a rare candy and a choice. It's just an all around very consistent deck. And on top of it, you're playing the Barrow because, you know, usually playing this deck, you're gonna have a low hand card. You're gonna have a lot like low cards in your hand. My bad. Because you're going to be using a lot of Rare Candy and Ultra Ball. In the Ultra Ball, you're going to be discarding cards, and the Rare Candy, you're going to be evolving that, so you're going to burn this. Usually, all the items you play in your deck, you're going to be playing immediately when you get them, so that is, and it's a very consistent deck. It's definitely good against Gardevoir and Mew. It's just all around a very consistent deck. The only reason it would be number 6 is because of Giratina. It's just like, it can one hit a Charizard. Also, some of them are playing Shaman V in their deck now from Obsidian, like because of the Charizard. So that's the only reason why I'd be on number 6. But besides that, very good deck. You should definitely play it. This is a very honorable mention, number 6. So I would definitely play it, even though it's not on top 5. So number 5 would be, for me, would be Lugia V-Star. Now this isn't my exact list, or the list I would preferably play. It's definitely similar to it. The Lugia V-Star and the Archeops is just like, the Archeops combo with the Tyranitar is very good in this format because you can one hit a lot of things in the Charizard deck. You can one hit stuff from Miraidon, Inteleon, Arctura, Chimpow, you know, like Lugia Mirror, Gardevoir. You just hit Gardevoir for weakness. You have Mew for weakness. You can one hit Giratina with the Tyranitar. Like, it's all around just a very consistent deck when it pops off. If you have the second late game against any deck in the format with double Archeops, basically 99% of the time you're gonna win that game. So that's the only reason why it would be number 5. This last season, in the 2023 season, I won 4 cups of Lugia. It is definitely a deck I would play. In general, to the World Cup, next year, with the high just consistency rate. So yeah, that's my number 5. Number 4 is Gardevoir. It just got second in the World Cup from Tordraklev. Congratulations to him. The Ralts and the Kirlia, the Gardevoir line, it's all just perfect. With the refinement ability, you can discard a card from your hand, draw 2. You just discard the energies, you Psychic Embrace them, attach all your energies to your Zacian, power that up, or the Gardevoir. And you can Iona your opponent to very few cards in late game, which sets them back, and it's just very good. And even if you have a bad start, you know, you can go Mirage Step, drop 3 Kirlia. It's all around a good deck. And, you know, Paldea really helped this deck out with the Iona Super Rod. This isn't from the new set, but it's definitely helpful. The Super Rod, you can get the Ralts back. The reason it's number 4 is because Giratina just really is just not the best matchup for this with the path and the V-Star ability. So it's not the best. I mean, Lost Box kind of beats it too. It's still a very good deck. Probably one of the most consistent decks in the format. But yeah, that would be my number 4. So coming on number 3 is Lost Box. Recently this weekend I just won a League Cup with it. And went 4-0, no 4-1. Okay. But yeah, it's a very consistent deck. I basically won every term I played with this deck. I went 4-0 at locals. It's just all around a very consistent deck. Like, I think this might be like one of the most consistent decks in the format besides Mew. This is definitely number 2. With the Comfy, with the Course Experiment, with the Rainer Greninja, and the 8 switch cards you have in your deck. Not even counting retreating with their energies because they all have basically 1 retreat cost. The Forest Stone, the Heavy Ball, the Battle VIP Pass, and that's what, like, the Lost Vacuum to get, like, I literally have used Moonlight Shuriken on my first turn before with this deck. It's just so consistent to the point where, like, it has to be like one of the best decks. And obviously it plays Drapion, so basically you beat Mew if you have this card in your deck. There's this variant and Kyogre. I personally have been playing Kyogre and testing that out. I don't know which one I would rather play to a tournament yet. I'm still deciding, but either one is they're very consistent. So that's definitely my number 3. Number 2 would be Mew VMAX. It just won the World Cup. I've played Mew since it came out. I love the deck. I qualified with Mew. I run a 1K with Mew. This deck is amazing. With the high consistency rate with Genesect and the Ultra Ball and Chromatic, and basically every single card in this deck, pretty much you can burn, which means you can discard them and draw more of a Genesect, and you can draw until you have six. Oh my bad, sorry. You can draw basically up to 6 cards almost every single turn, and you can use that up to 4 times with Genesect. It is just so broken. And you can turn one donk your opponents. Like, if my opponent only had one Lugia in play, or just had one Pokemon to play, I can use this Luster Sparkle Meloetta on my first turn and do 210 up to, with the Power Tablets, I can technically do up to 330 damage on my first turn, okay? That's just crazy. And it's not impossible because you only need like 7 cards, which is like really with the Chromatic is not that hard. Reasonably, like you're probably not gonna get that. Just saying though, it's crazy consistent. You can Iona your opponent and judge your opponent to like nothing, and you also play one Path to Peak and 2 Lost City and Box of Disasters. This is all for Guardy and Path for other decks, but these are just really helps out the Guardy matchup. That's why he beat Torn in the finals. But I love me like this is amazing deck. I personally would play this to the Cups or Worlds or anything to do with Pokemon tournaments in the future. But yes, my number 2. So number 1, the best deck in Obsidian Flames from the new set. And now it doesn't have any new cards from Obsidian Flames, but it's still the best deck in the format. It really just beats almost everything if you set this up with the Path at Peak and the Iono. It's just crazy. I mean, the high consistency rate in this deck is almost comparably to Lost Box. Not as big as Lost Box, but it's very good with the Choruses, the Comfies, and the Energies. I think it's just an amazing deck. And yeah, this is my top 10 list.